Okay, did not participate were Devondre, Elton Jenkins, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks. Limited, A.J. Dillon, Kingsley Ngabare, Aaron Jones, Luke Musgrave, Jonathan Owens, Jaden Reed, Robert Rochelle, Darnell Savage, T.J. Slayton, and Quay Walker.
Matt, do you have any comment on Brian's decision with Jair today?
Yeah, that's something that we made together, and it's unfortunate that, we're at that juncture, and felt like it was in the best interest long term for our team and for Jair, and certainly it was a tough decision, especially kind of where we're at right now, and one we don't take lightly, but there's standards that we're all held accountable for, and when they're not met, unfortunately, sometimes you got to take some drastic measures. However, I will say that, we are expecting we'll get him back, and we're looking forward to get him back. I think we had a long conversation this morning. I thought it was very productive. And, I think in the long run, although it's painful now, I think we're all going to be better for this moving forward.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Was the decision made just because of the coin toss, or was it more of a last straw and it's been an accumulation of things?
I'll just say this. It's never for one thing. But like I said, I think there's a lot of lessons along the way from everybody involved, and hopefully we learn from them. I think we will. I think there will be probably better communication moving forward. And like I said, I think Ja's going to be here a long time. He's a hell of a player. And just looking to move past this and learn from it, and we'll all move forward and be better for it.
Matt, a couple of weeks ago I asked him if he had sensed any frustration from you about his not being able to play with his injury, and he said, I don't know, I don't really talk to Matt much. When you're talking about communication, how difficult has it been to kind of have that connection with him? Has it been difficult on both ends, or?
Yeah, I think, obviously it's been a frustrating year for him, and by no means, I want to make sure this is perfectly clear. This has nothing to do with not being able to play. It's well documented. He's been battling through, and so it has nothing to do with that. It's just, every action could potentially have a consequence for it, and like I said, I'm just looking forward to getting him back next week, and we'll all learn from it, and we'll all move forward. And I do think that just in terms of our ability to communicate with one another, we'll be much better.
Just for fans who don't seem to understand this, could you just clarify for them that this is not because he didn't understand the rules of the coin toss, that he was not chosen as a captain and he went out on his own?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that whole incident. It was just like I said. So, like I said, we're going to move forward, and I'm looking forward to getting him back here next week.
Just for from what he said after the game, it was clear that Jair felt like he should have been made a captain Sunday. And he's from Charlie, he's one of your veteran players. Was the reason he not just because he's coming off a 6-game absence, or was there another reason?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons when you go through and you determine who a captain is, and certainly, to me, it's never about being like what ability you are as a player. That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with how you treat the team, how you show up and prepare on a daily basis. And I'm not saying that he was bad in that regard. That it's not about him. I'm just saying what the thought process and what entails the ability to be a captain, and it's something that we rotate around in terms of who's a captain. And certainly, when a guy has been in and out, it's hard to anoint them a captain for a game when you're not sure if they're going to be available or not. And but yeah, that's pretty much how we decide on a game by game basis, and we do it differently every year. In regards to in past years, we've voted for captains, and this year we took a different approach to try to allow everybody to kind of have a voice when given that opportunity, and empower those people when given those opportunities. And you know, like I said, we rotate a lot of guys through.
You guys tried other things like fines with Jair before this?
I'm not going to get into any more of the specifics. I've addressed it, and right now I would love to answer any questions you guys have on the Minnesota Vikings.
So you talked about moving forward. What will be your specific secondary plan Sunday night?
Next man up. That's the mentality at no matter what position. You know, it's a competitive situation, and we're going to put the guys that are in there that we feel are going to give us the best opportunity to win the football game. Obviously, got a tremendous challenge. When you talk about the Minnesota Vikings, they got a lot of talented receivers. They've thrown for a lot of yards, in particular these last couple of weeks. Justin Jefferson's the best in the game. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. I think one that we got to make sure that we put in the work throughout the course of the week, and our guys will be excited for that challenge come Sunday Night Football.
You said last week that you'd kind of confer with Devondre at the end of the week, and you didn't practice today. What's the status with him, and what came out of that conversation?
I'd say it's still day to day. It's still day to day, and we all know the kind of warrior he is and his ability to endure and battle through, but I'd say it's day to day.
So from obviously my outside perspective, it would seem that what he did was disrespectful to you and the team. Is that?
Minnesota Vikings?
No.
Okay.
Jair to you. That seems disrespectful.
Listen, I'm going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, Bill, with all due respect.
Okay. Can that relationship be saved? I mean, you seem...
The Minnesota Vikings relationship?
Look, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're coming from, but it's a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last I'm going to talk about it,
Yeah.
Bill, with all due respect. I absolutely am confident that the relationship between me and Jair 100% will be better for this. I really believe it. Now, we had a great conversation this morning, and I'm looking forward to having him back a part of this football team and being a big part of it moving forward.
Matt, have you seen Addison and Osborne kind of make themselves visible in this offense now too, along with Jefferson in that passing game?
Addison and
KJ Osborne.
yeah, I think both those guys are really talented receivers. You know, they've got elite speed. They've made big plays all season long, and it takes a lot of the burden away from Justin when you have multiple people that can contribute in the fashion that they're able to do that. So, you know, like I said, this is one of the more talented. Obviously, everybody talks about JJ, but I think collectively, this is one of the more talented receivers in the National Football League.
What does it do for your offense? You know, Romeo's kind of, he's been steady as some of the younger guys have really ascended in recent weeks. When they are not there, can you still have someone steady in Romeo? What kind of, in terms of depth and just trust from the quarterback, what does that do for your offense?
Yeah, I think Rome's been very consistent. Obviously, he's made a lot of big-time plays for us in particular, and it's just happened to come out this way in terms of down in the red area. He's got, 8 touchdowns or whatever on the season. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely, you can always count on him to go out there, and when given the opportunities, he's made some big plays for us this year. So I think he's really grown, I would say, over the course of two seasons in terms of just being so consistent and so reliable. So that's a great comfort for our offense, for our football team, for Jordan, to know that he can always count on Rome to go out there and get the job done.
What do you see from him behind the scenes? Because he's kind of the elder statesman in that room, right? I'm not sure for everyone it'd be easy to see all this young ascending talent around you. How have you seen him as a leader kind of handle that?
Well, he's still a pretty young talent, I would say, and he's still ascending as a football player. So he just doesn't get as much attention for it, I would say, because of the circumstances, in that he is one of the older guys. Him and Christian and Samari, and Bo for that matter, are the older guys, which they're young guys. So, but I think, yeah, I'm excited about all those guys and the growth that they've shown, not only this year but over the course of 2 seasons.
How did Jaden look today after a week off? And obviously he's been battling a lot of stuff here for quite a while now.
Yeah, I think he went out there and he looked good. It was kind of a lighter practice today. It was more jog through. We did have a short individual period just to kind of get a gauge to see where some guys were at, get a couple looks at some full speed reps. But for the most part, it was a jog through.
Kind of sounds like they're really not sure what quarterback is going to start over there. Does it matter?
No, I think we've got a lot to clean up ourselves right now, and we got to focus on the things that we can control and the challenges that offense presents, no matter who's at the quarterback position. And so that's where our focus would lie.
Hey, Matt, you've got the Jair situation, you had the Devondre stuff, you got everybody wondering about Joe's job security. I'm wondering, how are you kind of taking all that adversity and maybe turning it around to kind of galvanize your group and with what you've got at stake here?
Well, I would say that there's adversity in every team and every year, every game, and you better be resilient. I mean, we know what we're getting into, and we know what we sign up for, and that's just a part of the deal, and that's what makes this league so great. And you've got to embrace it and try to learn from every situation and stick together through good times and in bad times. And I think much like a family, nobody's family is perfect, right? But do you turn your back on your family? Hopefully not. And we will not do that.
So where do you turn defensively after you've been zoned for most of Joe's tenure, and you kind of took an opposite approach on Sunday and didn't probably get the results you're looking for there either?
Yeah, I mean, every game is a little bit different. They went out, I would say for the most part, through 3 quarters, we played pretty solid defense. It's just the last quarter was not good. And, give credit to them. They made a lot of great throws and great plays, and I definitely think we can play at a much higher level, though. And we've shown that throughout the course of the season, where we've had flashes and moments. It's hard because we all live in the moment, and I understand that. And you're only as good as your last game. And I would say on the defensive side of the ball, the last 3 weeks have just been tough. So, but like I said, you're only as good as your last game, and we've got a huge opportunity against one of the better offenses in the league, and we got to go out there and play our best ball.
Does that mean, because you've been looking for solutions on that side of the ball, and you made quite a few changes to your scheme and any play calls in Carolina, does that mean that even if it didn't end, the final result wasn't what you wanted on that side of the ball, you feel like you got closer to finding those solutions?
Well, I think every game has new challenges, and you got to be willing to try to adjust. And certainly, there's a lot of things we can do better from a coaching standpoint and also an execution standpoint. And like I said, it's a collective effort. I really believe that. All 3 phases, all the coaches, all the players, we're all in it together, and we know we can be better.